Hello, dear students. So, today we are going to learn about models. Today's topic is associated to models. So, models are another category of verb. Probably this would not be told by any book in grammar. So, it is just like a verb, but it functions differently. So, let us first understand the difference between a model and a main verb. So let's start with the sentence. If I say, I eat food on time, okay, and I write, say, he eats dinner on time. Here we can see that when I use the verb eat with I, it is not carrying any S, and however, if I'm using it with he, it is of course carrying an S. That shows that according to the subject of the sentence, the verb also changes. So with a singular subject, we are using a singular verb, and with a singular subject, we are using a singular verb, and depending upon the usage here for I, which is plural, so we are taking a plural verb here. Now let's look at this example. I can eat food on my own, and he can eat food on his own. That means we have different subjects, but still the difference of subject has no effect on the verb here because it was preceded by the modal can. So the modal, although they act as a verb, but they do not have any significant impact on the verb, and it would not change even if the subject changes. Okay, so this is first importance of modal and how they are different from the main verb. Now we will understand which type of modals do we have. There are various models which I am listing in for you: can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, could have, and should have. Other miscellaneous examples of models include must, need to, then we have to, and dare to. These are also the models. Okay. Now we will categorize them according to their usage. So let us start with the rule, that is P3 Astro. Yes, this is the rule which we are going to practice. For P, it refers to the possibility. So I will list down the models which shows whether the action is possible or how possible is it. Is it very strong possibility or does it have a very low possibility of an action? So when we use the word can, it is used as the highest possibility or sure shot or strongest possibility of happening of any event, followed by may, then it is followed by might, and then could. So this is the way you have to arrange the possibility, this from the strongest to the weakest possibility of any event. So if I would say there is a strongest possibility of rain today, so I will say that it can rain today, because in this type of scenario we can see that there are black clouds out there, even there is a weather forecast. So we have got a sufficient number of clues that there is a strong possibility of rain. So I have written it can rain today. Now, followed by another possibility, which is little weaker than can, which is may. It may rain today. So we have seen that, you know, it's stormy wind outside, probably a little showers you have noticed, okay, and there are black clouds too, but you're not again very sure, because you know this is the vagaries of weather. It may rain, it may not rain, so there is a 50-50 kind of possibility of happening of such task. Then it might rain, so you must have understood that again it is the weaker possibility. So if we are sure here, say 99.9% surety that stands here, or maybe 100% of times it is true, followed by 50%, and then it lies 30% of possibility, and then here in could, it could rain, okay. So here we give a 10% possibility of happening any task. So it could rain, it could happen, okay. So such is the things of possibility we have listed out here. Then we have the another P, that is permission. So if you have to take permission from somebody, you can use the word like can I, okay, or could I. So can I is more of a an informal permission of doing anything, or could I is more of a formal side and respectful. So if you're talking to your friend, you can say, can I use your pen, okay, and then can I, or when we're talking about the formal scenario, it could be, could I use your pen. That's the only difference between both of them, the formal context and informal context. And then comes the last part of P3, that is preference. So when we give preference to anything, we would say like, would you like, okay, that is the phrase specifically we use. So would you, would is the model that we are using here. So would you prefer or would you like, these are the two phrases which we can use in terms of preference. So would you like to have tea or coffee? So we are specifically making a difference, we are giving the choices. Or would you prefer studying or playing? This is how we can use the P3, and the vowels, sorry, the models involved in them are this. So as you can notice that the models will remain the same, but their usage will change depending upon the situation, whether we are talking about the possibility, or we are talking about the permission, or we're talking about the preference regarding anything. So that's how we can use our model structure. So this is only about P3. Now in our next video, I'll be covering about the other part of model. Stay tuned for my next video. Thank you for now. Kindly attempt the exercise based on the possibility, permission, and preference part of the model. See you in the class. Thank you.